In this episode of Pop Culture Weekly, the icon Michelle Pfeiffer joins and Felicity Jones to talk about their brand new film, Oh, What Fun, and my buddy Seann William Scott is back to talk about his series Shifting Gears. Let's go!
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I, of course, am Kyle McMahon, and welcome to the show where we dive deep into movies, TV, music, streaming, and whatever else Hollywood throws at us this week. And this episode, we've got a really good one. We've got a returning friend of the show and then two absolute icons. First up, Seann William Scott is back. Yes, Stifler himself, the man, the myth, the dude who has somehow aged backwards. He's joining me to talk about season 2 of his series with Tim Allen called Shifting Gears. And let me tell you, it is exactly the kind of warm-hearted, funny, family chaos show that your algorithm has been begging you to watch. I'm telling you, it's like a hug. Then, later on, I've got Felicity Jones and the icon, Michelle Pfeiffer. And they're talking about their new holiday dramedy, Oh, What Fun, exclusively on Prime Video. Two legends, one movie. More talent than I know what to do with, and it's all coming up on this episode. Let's get it! I am thrilled to welcome back a friend of the show, and honestly, one of the nicest and coolest guys in Hollywood. He was on, a couple of months ago, where he was discussing his film, and now he's back to discuss season 2 of his series with Tim Allen, Shifting Gears. Here he is, Seann William Scott.
Hey, who's the football team?
Here?
Yeah? Who's your team?
Eagles.
Oh, you're an Eagles fan?
Yeah.
Dude, what's going on?
I don't know.
The last game was so confusing. I was just like, and also too, the fans, they let them have it. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Eagle fans they're special. They don't hold back.
No, these are the guys that that booed Santa and then threw snowballs at him because they were mad about the
game. Oh, that's awesome. What do you think? What's the deal?
I don't know. I think Philly, I think we're just a different breed. It's like weird because it's the city of brotherly love, but it's also like not in a lot when it comes to our sports. So I'm not really sure.
But what do you think of it? But what do you think the deal is with the team?
I don't know. This year is just really off. I think I'm not exactly sure what the problem is or what the solution is, but something needs to change, I think.
Yeah.
Have you been following them?
Yeah, there's quite a few Eagle fans on the TV show Shifting Gears, and so I see them. We talk about the games every week, and but man, yeah, they get pissed. Yeah. But that's also but Tim Allen is a huge Detroit Lions fan. It's the same thing. I don't have I love Brady, but I don't have a team. And I enjoyed watching the Patriots, but Tim Allen is it's definitely a love-hate thing. He's fucking mad. When I sometimes I'm really careful. I only bring it up when they play well because I see it. And one time I made a mistake and it was a couple weeks ago. They lost and I just looked at him and he was don't even talk to me about it. Yeah.
What did you think of the Thanksgiving games?
You know what? I didn't get to watch him. It was a bummer. I was I had it all set up, and I was oh, okay, great. This, I had a lot more. I thought I was gonna have a lot more time to watch. They didn't seem great. Am I wrong?
No, I didn't think so either. My highlight was Post Malone performing at the halftime show on one of them.
Okay.
That's how unmemorable I think they were for me.
Yeah, I was kind of tracking the scores, and I was like, I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy, which was, Thanksgiving, at least in my household, where they've got every game on, in different boxes. They got multiple TV. I mean, it's like, and then when the games are kind of disappointing, it's like, oh, well, we built this whole thing around this. That sucks.
We got 4 TVs playing at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but like, did you, I remember that growing up in Minnesota, we did the same thing. Did anybody was there, I remember Thanksgiving, it was like, there's always a fucking arguments. Like, it was an opportunity for family members to air their grievances. It was like, I remember one of the Thanksgivings, like 2 relatives they didn't talk for like 15 years afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
It wasn't sports related, I hope.
No.
Okay, good.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. No, our family was, my family was good this year. I mean, we always have our squabbles or whatever, but no, cross-generational trauma created then anyway, this Thanksgiving anyway.
That's awesome.
There's always Christmas,
Yeah, exactly. You still got a chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So speaking of the show, how's it going? You're in your 2nd season now.
Yeah.
What is it like for you? You've done a lot of film. We talked about your last film a couple months ago. And you're doing a series. How big of a difference is that for you as an actor?
I mean, everything's different. I mean, it's like, you can't even, it's just like, you think of, I mean, just everything really. I mean, the whole process of filming it, it's so much fun. Making films and I've done a couple other TV shows and that was really fun too. I mean, every opportunity has been a blessing, but like, this is just so different. Like, Wednesday, you meet for a table read, new episode, new script. It's just like one big party, one big family. Everybody's laughing, having fun. And then you go and, you do a little rehearsing, but the script's always changing. So, as opposed to like a film or another type of show, like a non-sitcom, like you got to be ready, every day. Like you're in front of the camera every day. And here it's like people are walking around in their sweatpants and fucking hoodies and like, and then because we pre-shoot stuff on Monday, we pre-shoot a little bit more stuff on Tuesday, and then Tuesday night is in front of a live audience. So then it's like you're kind of doing a play, and then everybody kind of lets it rip, and because you get to feed off of the audience, and people are adding like little things, little improv, and it's so fun. And it's just like, again, it's comedically, I mean, it's so different. I love to improvise, and I think you can, you have an opportunity outside of sitcoms where you can kind of drive the scene and like the timing and everything. And here it's, you could still kind of do that, but you also have to play off of the audience's like laughter and time it out. You can't come in right in with another line, because it'll be drowned out by the laughter. So it's a different type of game. It's a lot of fun.
Now, now that you say that, it really is like live theater. I mean, you're performing, live in front of a studio audience. Do you ever get that excitement of like, or do you feel that tangible excitement of, all right, we're going to, go out there and hammer it out tonight. And it is what it is. There's going to be 300 people there or whatever it is,
I thought that in the beginning, because I was, before I took on the gig, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. It was like, is this like a one-shot deal? And they're like, no, man, you're gonna screw up. You can make mistakes. I'm like, oh, so it is different to theater, man, because I'm sure people make mistakes, but you don't get a second take or a third take. And then really quickly it was like, there isn't, especially because they're, the people that are coming to watch the live performance, they're fans. So, they're loving the show, loved him, Kat, and everybody. So it's a little bit like a party. It's really, because also we've already shot everything, so we already have everything in the can. So this is just kind of like a little extra, So it is really fun. The energy, everybody, and it is like a small crew, and they've all been working with Tim on his other shows, and he's just kept them, employed, and so it's a tight knit, family, and yeah, I get it. I get it. Like, wow, you see these sitcoms, and then they go for a while, and then everybody's crying when it ends because it's like, yeah, man, it's so much fun. You get to be with these people every day. It's awesome.
And then is it like 9 months on, 3 months off or something like that?
Well, I think it would be if you're doing over 20 episodes. And so that's kind of changed. Some shows are still doing that. Like
13, right?
13. So yeah, the sad thing is, it's like, I remember we started in the beginning or middle of August, and I was like, it was immediately, I was like, oh man, this is so fun. And then I was like, we only get to do this for like 3 months. So it's actually like, we finish in a couple weeks. And if we're lucky to do a third season, we'll be free from mid-December until probably August again.
Okay.
But yeah, it would be, I think, obviously we'd be shooting longer if we had more episodes.
Yeah. So, well, and it's interesting because I now prefer the shorter seasons for things, because I feel like a lot of times today, and maybe my, mind has changed over time or whatever, but like when I was a kid, everything was like 22 or 24 episodes or whatever. And then, there was like it was off for the summer for the most part, and then in the fall debut and premiere and all. And but now I feel like a lot of those shows had to, by necessity, kind of add filler to get to that number. I remember Lost, which is one of my favorite shows ever. There was huge online debate about, well, that was just a filler episode because they had to get to 23 or whatever, and
right.
And now it seems with this more concise model, it's like everyone is a hitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I loved Lost, by the way. Loved it. Man, there are very few shows that are coming out, right, that like really explode like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. So if they're only doing 13, then it's like, you're right. We don't have to crank out 20 episodes. We just really focus on those 13 and make them as solid as we can. And the writers we have on this show, just because they're making, very few shows in Los Angeles. And so there's a lot of amazing writers that are available. So we have like these people that, they've been showrunners on huge shows that are on our staff. So yeah, it's like they can just kind of focus on 13 episodes. And yeah, I'm biased because I love the show, but I think it's really funny.
It is. I think it's funny as well. And one of the things that I've always wondered is, so it's renewed for season 2. You're coming in at the beginning. Do you kind of get the gist of where Gabriel is going through the second season, or is it episode by episode? Like, how does that work?
I think it's like the second season, if when shows are lucky enough to do it, you had the benefit of doing one season, kind of starting to give a sense of like what's working for each actor and each character. And so I think that in this season, they've been able to kind of like find more fun things for me to do. And then, but yeah, I was like, Michelle Nader is our showrunner, and so she kind of shared a little bit of, it's a kind of an arc for my character. But I think he's probably best used to just kind of throw out some fun stuff. But like, so there's a little bit of something, but yeah, because it's not. It's a sitcom, so
yeah,
I don't think it's going to be too much of an arc, but like, but a little bit. They kind of tell you a little bit.
Well, and I wondered how much for you as an actor, how much different that is from knowing, like, okay, a script for a film. Like, I know from take one where I'm starting to the final take where I'm ending and where my character is going to go. Do you feel that difference, or are you kind of like loose with like, all right, I'm cool with wherever he's going? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I mean, yeah, you just accept it's a completely different thing. I mean, you just, and also, that was the thing in the beginning. I was like, how am I, this is going to be really challenging because I always like to improvise and I like to kind of rewrite my stuff. And I was like, you're not going to do that. I mean, although they're really open to, you know, ideas and stuff like that, but it was like, no, this is different. You just, you know, and it helps because the writing's great, but like, you just go, no, this is it. And it's kind of a relief because for me before, it's like you go in there, and I've never been somebody that's like, you know, if the scene's great in a film, like it doesn't need to be tinkered with. But like a lot of times it's like, okay, this could be better. And you're going in and you're thinking about how can I improve this and how can I improvise? What can I write here? And here it's like you just don't have that stress. You're like, you know, they've worked on this. There's like, you just go in, do the best you can, and then you don't have to worry too much, and again too, it's like you kind of you're relieved of that, like I want to improvise because it's like it's not that kind of show or it's not
Yeah.
that kind of, project. So you just go in, do the best you can, play with it and feel around and see like there are opportunities, still to kind of like play around a little bit, but yeah, it's just you just go in and have fun.
And I'm sure it helps knowing that you have such a great team that because you're kind of, from what you're saying, kind of letting it go, and what they come up with is for the most part what they come up with, but you're trusting them that it's great content.
Yeah, and it really, I mean, it is so funny. I mean, there's so many times we do the table reads. I'm like, wow, like, and it evolves. That's the other thing. It's really fun for this process. Is like each day there's rewrites and they improve things and they tighten things up and also it's like the whole cast are incredible, and but then you got Tim. And you're like, this is Tim's show, man. So you just come along for the ride, It's like, and that's another thing too, is like every day I'm like, I'm hanging out with Tim Allen. I'm talking football with Tim Allen. I'm talking movies with Tim. I'm asking him questions about Galaxy Quest. I mean, like, it's pretty crazy. I mean, my only worry is like, gosh, it'd be such a bummer if this is it. Like we only do 2 seasons, because it really. The other thing too, it's like the schedule is so crazy that I can take my daughter to school, go to work, finish in time to be able to go pick her up at school. I mean, it just doesn't happen in Hollywood in these jobs, and so yeah, it's a dream.
Well, and speaking of Tim, I'm sure like me, you kind of grew up with him as kind of America's dad. Were you nervous that first season? Like, because for me, he's kind of an iconic person that I've grown up with on TV. And from everything I've heard, he's an amazing guy and all, but was there any nerves behind it? Like, is he going to live up to Tim Allen in my head?
I was nervous. Also I was watching Santa Claus every night with my daughter, like the month before I did the show. So I was like, I mean, so when I met him, I was definitely nervous, but he was so nice. And like immediately I was like, oh man, he's such a guy's guy. He's such a like down to earth, super funny, great guy. And then, yeah, so I mean, it took a few episodes, and it's also because I was trying to figure it out too. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. This is so different. But like, if anything, I still get a little nervous. I mean, yeah, you grow up watching him, and but as the time's gone on a little bit, I'm like, we're kind of buddies. Like I'm kind of buddies with Tim Allen. He's asking me questions about other football games, and like, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Did you have you learned, picked it, because he has been doing this forever. I mean, you've been doing it for a while as well, but he's been doing it for like ever. Have you picked up any cool, tips from him, acting wise or otherwise?
He's just what I think there's a lot of things that like we have in common. I think one of the things too is, and I tend to overdo this, but like, he's always, even with a sitcom, he's trying to understand like the logic behind things. Like if there's something that doesn't make sense, he's going to ask questions. He's going to be like, I don't want people watching this, and be like, that doesn't make sense. Nobody would do that. Or like, he's like, so, you know, I think that I kind of have that instinct as well, but you know, it's fun to be able to watch somebody who's done it for a long time, who could just really just choose to come in and just do the job. But he's like, he cares. Like, so he's kind of analyzing things and always trying to, you know, find ways to make it funnier and stuff. I really appreciate that.
Have you, it's interesting because a lot of sitcoms today, I would say most sitcoms today, no longer do live in front of a studio audience. Is that something that you think adds to kind of the charm of the show? Like for me, I think it does. The show's funny, you know, hysterically funny. The characters are well written. All the actors are great. But there's this extra charm for me as a viewer that it's like, I don't want to say down homey, but it's like that live studio track just gives it that little extra warm, fuzzy feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. And also because I don't know how many there are out there, but I think there's only just a handful. And I think it definitely feels like comfort food.
Comfort food. There you go.
Yeah, it's like, you know, not everybody's a fan of like sitcoms, stuff like that, but there are a lot of people that are. And then, you know, the fact that they weren't around for a long time and then they kind of came back, I think with Night Court or some show, and then they're like, oh, people love this. And there's and especially when it's Tim. So all of a sudden you're watching Tim in a sitcom with a live audience and you get that feeling. It's like, we've been watching sitcoms for a long time. So it is, you know, you got, I think, 22 minutes of story and laughs, and then you hear the other thing too, I think is always funny is like, man, I remember when I first started, when we rehearsed, there would be a section of people in the audience who were laughers. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, who are these fucking people laughing? Where are they? And then Kenny's like, no, we have professional laughers. Like for the rehearsals. I'm like, why? And then I get it, because you kind of have to, like, you know, you hope that they're laughing genuinely and like at the right time. But because if you don't have an idea of how to time it, then all of a sudden when you're doing a live performance, you could be in the middle of a line, deliver something, and then all of a sudden people are laughing. You're like, whoa, like, I don't know, the whole thing. And then I just thought, like, how do you get that job?
I was just going to ask you that.
What's their resume like? Like, professional laughter, you know? Like,
right.
What? I don't know. I don't know. I wonder what kind of weird stuff goes on in that group. But like, yeah, it's weird. It was, you know, you literally, they're there, and it's a full job, and they're laughing at stuff, and you think, then it kind of messes with you, because then you're like, well, what am I going to do walking around town without professional laughers laughing at everything I say? I'm going to be so sad and confused. But
exactly.
It's interesting.
They need to come to the family holiday party so they can laugh at all your jokes. When,
exactly. Exactly. That's hilarious.
I love that. I've literally never heard that there's a professional laugher. Like, I'm like genuinely intrigued now.
It felt like the Truman Show. I felt like Jim Carrey in the Truman Show. I'm like, this is a trip. That in the beginning was one of the things I think that really tripped me out, because I'm like, and it's loud. So like you're doing it and you're rehearsing. And so it's still like work in progress, but then you have these people are laughing behind you. You're like, I don't know, man, I didn't like it. No, now I don't even notice it.
Right.
That's weird.
So besides that, because you guys are, the season finale will be coming up in a few weeks, right? And then what else are you working on for, like, you know, what's your plan for the fall, or what are we in? Winter?
I know it's hard. I didn't even know what season it was. You know what? I feel like I think I just maybe, unless there's something awesome that comes around, I'm happy to just take some time to be with my daughter. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. I mean, if something is amazing that, you know, didn't take much time away from her, then I think that. But like, that's the thing, is like, you get really, I mean, the show's such a blessing, you know, the schedule and everything, and to like switch to like something where like you're on set for 16 hours and I don't know, but I don't know. Did I tell you about this movie that I did called Dolly?
No.
Oh, wait till you see this movie.
Okay.
It's a horror movie.
I love
It's like oh man, it's I don't know if I'd say it's like a love letter to, like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I mean it just hit some festivals, and like I've seen it. It's gonna shock people. So I think that movie comes out, I think maybe next spring, but
okay.
Take a look at that when it does.
Absolutely. I'm a huge horror fan. So
Oh, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
It's part of the French extremity genre of films, and like it's one of those movies where I've only had a couple like this. Like the other thing, well, I was gonna say Goon, and then Wrath of Becky, and like Bloodline, but like where great script, you go in and you have a great experience, and so very few of them actually end up being good. And this is one where it's like everything came together, and it's like, so if you love horror movies, like this one is shot in 16 millimeter, like looks beautiful. It is shocking.
Yeah, now I'm hyped for that because, like I said, I'm a huge horror fan, and I'll watch bad stuff, I'll watch great stuff, I'll watch everything in between. So that'll be on my list for sure.
Awesome.
Is you've spoken about your daughter a lot? Is that your all of your hyphenates? As Seann, is Daddy? Is that like your favorite?
Sure. Oh man, yeah, it's everything I've wanted.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just see whenever you talk about your daughter, I just see you like light up. So
yeah,
it just kind of oozes out of you.
Yeah. No, I mean, and then that was the thing about the show, is like I was doing Righteous Gemstones and having the most incredible time, and then this thing came around, and some of the actors I was working with in Gemstones were telling me about the schedule, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I get to be a parent, like I get to go and work and have fun and create, but then not lose time, and it literally has been the greatest gift. I mean, it's incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's truly amazing. Well, thank you. As always, thank you for coming on. You are always welcome, but you definitely have to come on for Dolly.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks for having me on, man. It's great to see you again.
Of course, you as well, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You take care. Have great holidays.
Thank you. You too, Seann.
Thanks, bud.
Seann William Scott. It is always a pleasure to talk to him. He is honestly just such a good guy, such a fun guy, and I just love hanging out with him. Check out season 2 of Shifting Gears right now on ABC and streaming, of course, on Disney Plus and Hulu. It's such a great show. I highly recommend it. All right. Oh, I don't know if you hear, but I brought Blue into the studio today. And, okay, I guess it's time to go potty. So, now's a good time to take a break to pay the bills. And when we come back, I have got Michelle Pfeiffer and Felicity Jones talking about their brand new holiday film, Oh, What Fun. Don't move. Pop Culture Weekly will be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Pop Culture Weekly, and thank you for supporting our sponsors who help me bring this show to you each and every week. And I am so excited for this next conversation. Joining me now are two actresses who don't need an introduction. The legendary Michelle Pfeiffer, and the always incredible Felicity Jones. And they're here to talk about their new holiday film, Oh, What Fun, which is exactly what the title promises. It's a warm, funny drama, slightly chaotic movie that captures exactly what it's like when family and the holidays collide. To be honest, here they are, Felicity Jones and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Thank you both so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. So, Michelle, if I may start with you, you've done some of the greatest films of all time, played some of the greatest characters of all time. Why? Oh, what fun, which I love, by the way. But what, like, in your career, why were you like, I want to do this film at this time?
Because it presented itself at this time. First, before I had read anything, I knew I was asked to have a meeting with Michael Showalter, and he was attached to direct, and I'm a huge fan. And I mean, I just felt so blessed that he wanted to work with me. I probably would have done just about anything with him. But then I read this script, and I was really it wasn't at all what I expected. It's not your typical Christmas movie, really, if there is such a thing. Um, I loved how passionate he was about really this is a love letter to moms. This is a love letter to everything that they do, not just to during the holidays, but it's 365 days a year. And it goes unseen and unappreciated, and it's not like there's any menace involved or anything, or ill will. It's just that it gets taken for granted. And so it was really kind of shining a light on that, and giving mothers the credit that they deserve.
I love that. And Felicity, for you, which I love your work, of course, as well. But how do you pull, in your role in the film, how do you pull parts from, your own life, your own relationship with your mother and your family as you take on a role like this?
I think you do inevitably kind of little bits and pieces, and actually when I read the script it really resonated. I think it's very true to a lot of mother, not all obviously, but a lot of mother-daughter relationships are often like this. And I think that's what I really engaged with about it is it's funny, it's kind of true to Michael Schulter's comedy. It has moments of kind of slapstick and it's kind of ludicrous in moments, but it has this emotional truth propelling it underneath. And that's yeah, that's quite a rare thing to find actually.
Yeah, and it is such a great film. I can't wait for everybody to see Oh, What Fun. Thank you both so much. It is such a pleasure.
You're so welcome.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
You as well. Have a great day.
Bye.
Michelle Pfeiffer and Felicity Jones. It's crazy. Every episode I say to myself, like, I can't believe that I get to talk to the people that I get to talk to. And it is all because of you. I seriously cannot thank you enough. I'm getting a little upset. Oh my God, a little emotional. Thank you so much for supporting me in this crazy stuff that I do. It is only because of you that I am able to do it. I get to live out my dreams that I've had since I was a kid. And it's all due to your support. So I really can't thank you enough. From the bottom of my heart, I love you. All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Pop Culture Weekly. Huge thanks to my guests, Seann William Scott, Michelle Pfeiffer, Felicity Jones. If you like this episode, hit subscribe, leave a review, tell your friend, tell your mom, tell your neighbor who steals your Amazon packages. Look, just spread the word. Of course, catch Pop Culture Weekly on the free iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, where you can watch the interviews on video if you choose. And follow me everywhere at Real Kyle McMahon. Keep up with all the latest at popcultureweekly.com. Until next time, I'll see you next week. I love you. We out.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.
I just interviewed Michelle Pfeiffer. Wow. I just interviewed Michelle Pfeiffer. Wow. I just interviewed Michelle Pfeiffer. It's a freaking dream come true.